around 40% of our farmland, we need to see grass or something else for and for climate and for the.
Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of the Serve Ag podcast. I am super excited to finally be podcasting myself again. It's been a while since I've been able to do this. I'm just super excited to have this opportunity just to hopefully start. I hope to use this as a platform to interview more farmers and ranchers specifically. I don't want this to be a place of just a bunch of the experts talking of, I know so much, I can share the world. I really want this to be just the most candid conversation platform I can regarding agriculture. That's kind of my vision for this going forward. So if you've made it this far into your journey into following me on Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever platform it may be, I appreciate it. This is going to be hopefully something I can do on a weekly basis to hopefully just serve the agriculture community. I want this to be a platform to elevate the people within this industry, and not just the loud people talking in this industry, but the people who are working in it every day really hard and might not get the chance to share their story as often as they might like. So that's kind of what I've thought about going forward with this. If you guys have any suggestions of what you'd like to hear on a podcast like this, please just get a hold of me. I'll throw a Q&A thing on Spotify. You guys can let me know on Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff. We are just super excited to be doing this. I've got a couple people lined up in the future to come on. It's going to be a ton of fun, but we're planning on releasing these, I believe, on Wednesdays on a regular basis. So if that's something that interests you guys, please click that follow and subscribe button. So this week we are talking with a German farmer. So as of a recording, it is currently December 22nd. And 2 days ago, there was 3 days ago, the farm protests in Germany were going heavy and hard in regards to the government cutting their diesel tax. And so I saw all this in the news and I said, I want to talk to someone on the ground who has a bit more firsthand experience in this. It's easy to read these news articles and say, that's what's going on there. That's what's going on there. And I just kind of wanted to get a better grasp on the situation. And so I interviewed a young man who is going to college over there and comes home on the weekends to work at his family farm in Germany. His name is Christian. I'll link his Instagram and everything in the episode description and stuff like that. But it was a really interesting conversation. I have never been on a farm in Europe, so just getting to see that at all was pretty interesting. If you have the opportunity to watch this podcast, he kind of walks around a little bit of his farm and shows us some of the stuff, but he goes into more detail on kind of the farmers' gripes with just this diesel tax cut, some of the reasons they're doing it, some of them in regard to immigration policies that the country has. I'm not going to comment on those. I just am purely a viewer. So I hope you guys enjoy this. It was a cool conversation. It was cool, cool for me to see from a U.S. perspective what the farmers over there are thinking, just knowing how their tax structures work. And I think it's just a great way to start off the Serve Ag podcast, because I feel like this is something that can genuinely serve people who are curious. Sorry. So I'll get better at this whole podcasting thing, but follow along. I appreciate it. We're going to start the conversation off here in a second. I'm going to play a quick ad for my media company that allows this whole thing to be produced in the first place, and then we'll get going. So thanks, guys.
How are you doing?
Good. Nice to officially meet you, Christian.
Yes.
So
it's currently raining here. In winter, it's raining like 24/7 here in Germany.
Really? Interesting.
Yes. I'm going to the shop. Yes. You were asking on your Instagram story what's going on here.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you know it in the US, but our government has no money. We have no money anymore because you probably know that we have one of the baddest. It's bad. Our government it sucks because we have people who have no clue of anything, who didn't even go to college or high school or You know it maybe.
Yeah, so I was mostly just curious, like, so like I saw like the protests and things on Instagram and
Yes.
LinkedIn and Facebook and all that, and so I was like, okay,
Mm.
I know the Netherlands was doing the same thing a couple months ago, and now you guys are doing it. So I was just curious, like, what like you as the farmers, how do you feel towards like, from what I understand, it's the tax thing, right? Like they're taking away the diesel
Yes.
tax breaks, which is what every piece of farm machinery runs on. And that's what you guys are frustrated about?
We are frustrated about pretty much. Also, we are frustrated about everything because in 2030 the government wants that we on our farm we have to 40 acres. That's around 40% of our farmland. We need to see grass or something
Mm-hmm.
else for the nature and for climate and for that stupid stuff.
Wow. So you said 40 acres?
Yeah, 40 hectares. It would be like 80 acres would be it would be like it's 1 acre is probably I would say the double of an acre.
Okay, got it. So they're doing that because they're trying to meet climate goals, and they're trying to. Are they taking crops out of production, or are they just trying to like get you to cover crop more or plant? Um, I don't even know the right. Like, why are they having you guys do that?
Like we we have to um make like grass on it and we need to mulch it down
Mm-hmm.
once a year for the nature maybe or something I don't know, but or we can make organic of it. I don't know really, but I heard we can do it organic. But we have on a farm, we currently farm around 200 acres, 200 acre.
Mm-hmm.
It's like for the US, it is nothing, but for our size, we are like the BTO of
Yeah.
our, our region.
Mm-hmm.
And like we have currently around 40 acres in organic farming. That does one of our employees. He does it, and it really not makes no money because either you do something like cereals or grain,
Uh-huh.
and that isn't yielding the right amount that we want on our field because we have so high production prices here, like ground taxes, and you guys pay around 20, I would say $10,000 per acre, and we pay $50,000 per
Uh-huh.
acre. So we also have higher taxes and higher production costs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So like what's your background on the farm, Christian? Like what's your you work on the farm, you have a family farm. Like what do you like how'd you get connected back to that, or why are you still farming?
Like I'm sometimes on the weekends here or after school because I'm going to school currently.
Mhm.
Like 2 years now. Uh, I need to go to school 2 years
Mhm.
still, and then I want to like work first for John Deere and then later overtake it here,
Mhm.
take it over. And I don't really know if we are still in production then,
Mhm.
but my plans are for the future sell everything here. We are doing many money here, but it isn't like we have many Muslims here in our region. We have a couple on the farm that are working here. They are
Mhm.
nice, but I'm in school, and I would say like 50% of our people are Muslims,
Mhm.
and they are pretty. They are always in fights and something, and it. I don't know if that is the future that I want to live in because they are having kids and they are the same. So it's not safe anymore here.
Yeah.
And maybe
So how do you like I had someone else telling me the same thing like your guys' government has spent a ton on like immigration laws and green energy laws and things like that, and that's where a huge amount of the government's money's gone, and now people are saying, well, now the government's starting to go broke because they're spending all their money, and so now they're having a bunch of tax cuts on farmers. You guys are, they're trying to charge you guys basically for all their spending. Is that kind of what you're feeling there?
yes, yes, the working ones, like the ones who are in my school, I think 25% of them are living from the government. So the government pays them to do nothing. That sucks here. And like we pretty much 50% of that we get back. Also, when we pay all the bills that we have to pay, we have like that. I think about 400 euros. No, not 400, 400k. We have then, and we have to pay 200k of that then for taxes because it's too because now there is like you know it.
Yeah. So like, you as a young person looking to go into farming, like how are you feeling about the whole situation? Does it make you want to keep farming, or is it kind of like, do we stand a chance? No?
No, not nothing. I'm currently thinking of like in 5 or 10 years when I'm done with school and every other jobs, when I work for a couple of years, maybe so we have the right wing of our politics, like the AfD. I would call it the CDU is like conservative, but I would call him a bit right too, and the FDP. The FDP is currently um, in our cabinet. The, like every I don't know the word. Like you have the party the where Trump is and where Joe Biden is. You choose your. We have like Tony, and it is like you have the where Joe Biden is like your left wing and Trump is right wing, and we have like 6 of these. We call them Parteien. I don't know how you call him, and 6 of them are left, and 6 of them are mostly right about that. So the right ones are fighting for the German worker who works here, who pays taxes, and is pretty much against all the left stuff because like then you have like all this climate shit. I don't say nothing about it, and like in school they are not teaching school to us, they are teaching how to save the climate, and it sucks here. I know in the US it isn't that better, but it's better than here, and I think I sell everything here and maybe buy like a middle-sized grain farm in the Midwest maybe.
Yeah.
That's my plan for now because
Yeah.
it's like
Get out of
like
Germany
larger
and
to
come
live.
farm here in Iowa or Kansas or Nebraska or one of these states. Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Huh. Are there other people thinking that way? Is like, hey, why do I even bother farming here? If the government's going to keep taking so much of our money and it's going to keep getting spent on all these things and we're going to keep getting taxed more, is there like I know here like a large portion of the farmers in the U.S. are also on the conservative kind of right wing side, and feel very similarly towards our government as it sounds like your guys' right wing politics do. Are there a lot of people who feel the way you do? I mean, obviously we've got these protests going on in the Capitol that are showing that, hey, like this is something that's bothering people. Is there a lot of people who are thinking like, what's the point?
Yes, pretty much every farmer I know, or everyone who lives on the countryside or have like a working family in my school too, and I I like those people, and I have like a lot of friends here. But I ride motocross, like maybe you saw it on my account, and I am there in the Netherlands, and we live pretty much 10 kilometers away from the Dutch border here. So I'm a lot often there, and I have a couple of friends there. They are pretty nice too, but they are thinking pretty much the same way as we about that stuff. And here around my, I would say county. It's like we call them Kreis. Kreis. It is like what's the county do? It's the same what they do. It's a county, and like here are a lot of pig farmers. Like pretty much, I would say 60% of the farmers here are pig farmers, or like with lives. Pretty much everything here is livestock. We have no livestock because like 20 years ago we had like I can show you here. That's our Telehandler. and you can see a couple of the potato boxes and a couple potato equipment. Like back there, you can see and slurry lagoon or something where the shit is, and like that's my car from the father. But back here we had like 20, 30 years ago we had uh, we made we made liquor and all that stuff because it was the government paid us to do that, and we got a lot of money of that. But like 13 years ago we stopped doing that because we had like this thing was the production that we have was pretty old, and it would be too expensive to build it new, so we switched kind of to groceries and that stuff. And like pretty all the other farmers here did that because they like 20 years ago they invested in new barns and some and all that stuff, and now they are like a friend of mine who has like around 160 acres. They had sow production. They kind of they made the piglets and then they fat, made them fat and sold them. And now the sows are gone because it didn't make any money still for them. And the we have like our government always says us, you guys have the too. I heard it in the barn talk from like this will do farm from these two from his father and son. They said they are pig farmers, you know, maybe. Uh, they said that they in California and pretty much in the cities, like I heard it that one sow or pig needs to have like 30 square foot or something space for them, and like we have like the same rules, and the government now like soon I heard from it that they had to keep the pigs outside in the mud or something because it's better for them and something like that. And they all now they have no sows anymore. They only have one barn that's in production. So the other two barns, they had three barns, I think, and two barns are empty now, and the one they're building a shop now because it made no money. And they have like steers or bulls, I would say. They raise them now to get them fat and then sell them. That that we did that too, like 20 years ago. But my father he hated animals and all that stuff, so he pretty much made every building for the animals is gone now, and now we have I ah, what here. Now you can see here is a lot of tar, and that building right there was for animals feed was in there, and where you can see the lawn, there was like maybe to here, from that fence to here was a big, a very big barn for cows and stuff too. And this is our workshop now, and there was one of the three production that we had for liquor was here. We and we I don't know how to say it. We say it abreißen it. We made it with like an excavator. We made it gone and built now the shop here. And I need to close the door. It doesn't shut anymore because something is broken. And like we were back then, we had around 300 animals maybe we had, and it kind of was making no money too. So if we wanted to still make cows and other stuff, we needed to build a new all barns we needed to tear down and build new,
Did
but it would cost so much money and
did
didn't make it back.
did that cause a lot of farmers to quit and declare bankruptcy or kind of just say, hey, we can't, like, because that's a pretty big like investment that you have to make just to even keep doing that. Like, did people try and go broke doing that?
No, no. Some of them switch like to BGA. You probably know that they shop corn and made energy of that.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of them here in our region, and they switched to that or invested in something like that, and now they are getting money from it. But some farmers still are doing in these pretty old sheds and barns. They are having like, you can see here we have like our diesel pump, and you can see like here is kind of our oil and
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. They would have like 10 or 5 bulls in here, like all that they're pretty much doing in every garage that they have. They are holding animals in.
Hmm.
Kinda, it isn't that good in my opinion.
So
And
so how do what's like the main way for farms to make their money in Germany?
like in our region, like in the east, there are a lot of grain farmers, as you probably see on Instagram. And
Mm-hmm.
we are in the west, in the farthest west side that you can imagine. And here are a lot of pig farmers and livestock. So I told it to you, and they are making their money off of that. And now they are we have the Tierwohl. It's like a label that you can have on the animals, on the meat later,
Mm-hmm.
and you pay for the meat a bit more, but the animals are a bit better in the holding,
Mm-hmm.
are raised better, so they are a little happier.
Hmm.
And like
Interesting.
it's a yeah, so they have like I they have less animals in the barn, so they have more room. One
Mm-hmm.
animal has more room, and it's better for them, they say. But
Yeah. Hmm.
some of them do that. In our region, I don't know. I know from one that he does that, but one of my friends who also farms pigs, they are don't doing that, but the prices are pretty much down for pigs and all that stuff you pretty
Hmm.
much know. And because here we have the high production costs, and like the one reason for that the diesel and the tractors are tax free,
Mm-hmm.
so we can raise them better and healthier, and don't
Mm-hmm.
so they are healthier. So
Interesting. Huh.
so
So is it like are the farms there profitable, or are there a lot of government subsidies that help with that? Because I know here,
like,
like, there's subsidies that pretty much, depending on what you're farming, can be really dependent on whether you're profitable or not. It's not every farmer, but I know there's a lot of farms that do depend, like, subsidy wise on these subsidies to keep coming through.
yeah, we have a lot of subsidies here
Mm-hmm.
from the European Union. Like a couple years ago, every farm could enter them in for a new piece of machinery, like manure spreader or slurry tanker or an sprayer or an
Hmm.
fertilizer fertilizer spreader. So they like we had two machines of that. We pay the government pays like the half or like a quarter of it,
Uh-huh.
and we got so we bought it new because they want that we have better for the so we can
Mm-hmm.
apply the stuff and the nutrients a lot more. I don't know the word.
Hmm.
Um, we call it precise. It's a bit better, so we need to put less on the field. It's more efficient though, and or with GPS, I don't know if they paid of the subsidied GPS, and like they want us to be carbon neutral, but the farmers are carbon neutral here. But they're still saying the agriculture is ruining our planet, and so you
Mm-hmm.
know it probably. And like they always, if like we have a lot of natural reservoirs here in our region. So we have the Nebu, we call them Nebu. They are driving. It's a lot of teachers there too in the Nebu. It's like the Naturschutzbund is the full name of it.
Mm-hmm.
So they are carrying all of the natural reservoirs, and like we dumped a couple of our trash potatoes that we sorted out. We dumped in a now I always forget the words. I know
Uh-huh.
him, but like we dumped in on not on a where on the field of grass. We
Mm-hmm.
dumped it on, and some dudes from the neighbor walked through our forests and fields and saw, oh no, they are dumping potatoes on the ground and destroying the nature, and you know it probably.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
So like that's another reason. I don't know if in the US they have something like that, but I didn't heard of some of that trash that you have there.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Very interesting.
That's one reason for me too to maybe move to the US.
Hmm. Do you guys view U.S. farming as a lot easier than farming over there?
Yeah, a bit, because we have like the government that
Mm-hmm.
always tries pretty much to stop us farming, and we like in the news. I don't really know if they're only telling the truth here,
Mm-hmm.
and you probably know it
Hmm. Interesting.
because we don't hear of something that you guys need to take down a couple acres of production
Hmm.
on something. I heard of the CRP. I don't really know what that is. Maybe you know it.
Yeah, CRP's it's crop reserve program. So basically, the government will pay you to take acres out of production. It's been a while since I've talked to someone about this here. Basically, you take acres out of production and you get a stipend from the government for that, because they want it to be, if we had to farm more ground, there's acres that we could take out of CRP should we need more food at some point. It's very interesting because it's a lot of people think it's actually bad for the ground just letting it, overgrow. So I think you're required to mow it a couple of times, but yeah, it's not forced production. You can choose to take it, but there's also a lot of controversial opinions on that. So it's not forced, but it could be at some point. I'm not, it's not off the table. So our main thing is we're losing a lot of farm ground to development and like solar farms and things like that. Like they're trying to put up solar panels in a bunch of farm fields, and they're saying we need to take these acres out of production. And so there's a bunch of controversy behind that. There's a lot of controversy. There hasn't been enough things that have been like quite pushed the U.S. farmers to like protest like you guys are in Germany, but it's not off the table. I don't think. So I think that could be a very real thing in the next few years. So.
Yes, yes, but I didn't know that you have all that nutrients, not nutrients, nature stuff, and we basically need in 2030 we need to make CRP too, but
Mm-hmm.
we don't. We aren't getting money for the CRP.
Interesting.
That's ah,
Hmm.
it's a tough
Fair.
scene.
Hey, that's okay. So, anyways, well, I don't think I have any more questions for you. Thanks for your time, Christian. I appreciate it. I was like, I
Yes.
saw the stuff. I was like, you know what? I need to talk to an actual person who lives in Germany and not just read the news articles. So that's why I called you. I was like, you know what? I at least want to ask someone who's at least a little closer to what's actually happening than just me reading whatever BBC or Fox News or CNN or whatever, whoever's putting it out, whatever they're writing these days. So thanks, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you for the time because it's a little different to talk someone in England in English that isn't your English teacher.
Well, that's good. Yeah. Well, you'll get probably a couple other people will end up listening to this too. So, good practice, man. I will put Christian's Instagram bio in the. I'll put that in the description for this episode. So if any of you listening want to follow him, yeah, Christian, feel free to get a hold of me next time you have a question or anything or you want to chat. So my phone line's Instagram's always open. So awesome. Thanks, man. So
Yeah,
all right. Well,
please.
you have a good day, sir. Hey guys, so after we finished recording that little conversation there, probably about 2-3 hours later, Christian sent me a voice message over Instagram, kind of just explaining, hey, they said they're not going to repeal that tax. They're going to start taking tractor taxes away. At least that's what I sort of understood. So I'll just play that clip for you guys right here, and then we'll wrap up the podcast after that.
And I got a little update on the protests. The government said, no, we will keep taxing the diesel and getting taxes on the tractors too now. And on the 8th next year, January, the 8th January, we are in, the guy who leads like the farmers said, on the 8th January we are everywhere. So you can see lots of footage of huge protests. I think I'm leaving school for the day and going to a protest too on that day, because they can't do that anymore. It's enough.
So I am by no means an expert on this situation. I just wanted to get an actual conversation going with someone who's actually on the ground in Germany doing those things. So this podcast is coming out a little late, but I just kind of wanted to do a better job of kind of on the ground, listening to stories, listening to people talk. So all these opinions that were shared are not ones that I am saying I hold or anything like that. I'm just purely trying to be the interviewer, just trying to listen to what's going on and get a better read. And so hopefully you guys gained something from this podcast. If you guys enjoyed it, please stay tuned. There is more coming. So that's all I have for you guys. Stay safe, stay farming, and we'll see you guys next week.